That's not news. And let's be honest, Bukayo Saka's injury has left the club with no choice but to look for another top winger. But the big question is, who should Arsenal add to their squad to fire them to glory? With all the chances this team creates, it's clear they just need one reliable attacking signing to sharpen their edge in front of goal. Now, we've talked about potential signings before, but here's a deal I think Arsenal should think twice about, or risk having to splash even more cash on another player later. Let's talk about Brentford's Bryan Mbuemo. On paper, Mbuemo seems like a smart choice. He can play on the right wing and as a center forward, making him a versatile option, especially with Saka sidelined. But here's the catch. If Arsenal goes for Mbuemo, they might also need to target someone like Alexander Isak to complement his signing. Why? Because while Mbuemo offers depth, Isak would bring that clinical finishing and flair up front that Arsenal needs to compete at the highest level. But let's not kid ourselves. This double deal would be ridiculously expensive. Brentford isn't going to let Mbuemo go cheaply, especially after everything with Ivan Toney. They could easily slap a £60 million price tag on him. And Isak? Well, we're probably talking about a club record deal, maybe even upwards of £100 million. That's a hefty price for two players, even for a club like Arsenal. And it raises another important question. Would signing Mbuemo take away from the funds needed to upgrade the left wing position? Let's face it, Gabriel Martinelli and Leandro Trossard have done a decent job this season. But if we're being honest, Arsenal needs a significant upgrade on the left wing to truly compete with the likes of Liverpool and Manchester City. Most Gooners would agree. Our priority should be finding a top-class left winger before anything else. Depth is important, sure, but quality in those starting positions is what wins titles. So, where does that leave us with Mbuemo? He could be a great short-term solution to cover for Saka and provide another striking option. But is he worth sacrificing the chance to upgrade the left wing? And can Arsenal realistically afford to sign both Mbuemo and Isak in one window? It's a tough call, and one that Arsenal's decision-makers will have to weigh carefully. The January window could make or break our season, and every move needs to count. Is Arsenal just one step away from being the best in the league? You could argue that they're not too far off. But what's missing? Well, like any top team, they need to be strong across the board, defensively, in midfield, and in attack. And right now, it's that final piece, the attack, that's leaving us with more questions than answers. Let's be real. Arsenal's defense? Solid. They're one of the best teams defensively this season, and their midfield has a lot of strength too. But there's this nagging issue up front. It's like the Gunners are on the verge of greatness, but they can't quite get that attack firing the way it should. So, what's going wrong in the final third? Well, it's clear, Arsenal just isn't creating enough shots. When you're not shooting, you're not scoring. Simple as that. And that's been the problem recently. Some people might point to individual players. Sure, Havertz and Martinelli could be doing more, but let's not kid ourselves. Simply swapping players won't fix everything. It's not just the personnel. It's also about the tactics and the approach. Now, here's where it gets interesting. What if Arteta, our brilliant tactician, took a few more risks with his tactical decisions? What if he made bold moves to get that attack clicking? And let's not forget about Thomas Partey. The guy is a game changer. 6 out of Arsenal's 8 league wins this season, they all came with Partey in midfield. Why? Because he does something no one else really does. He plays those incisive passes that break the lines and push the attack forward. Rice does a great job, but Partey brings that extra spark in the middle of the park. Partey's presence in midfield is massive. With him in the team, Arsenal is just better, more dynamic, more threatening. So, why not build around that strength? But it's not just about having the right players. It's time Arsenal starts taking more shots seriously. They're getting into the box, creating those opportunities, but then nothing. A lot of touches, but not enough attempts at goal. And if you're not shooting, you're just inviting frustration. We saw that in those 4 games without scoring from open play. It can't continue. Look, if Arsenal can find that balance between attack, midfield, and defense, if that attack clicks, the sky's the limit. They could become an absolute force. And who's going to stop them then? So, Arsenal fans, here's the big question. Can the Gunners finally get it together in the final third? If they do, there's no telling how far they can go this season. Maybe this is the year. Maybe it's Arsenal's time. If Arsenal gets it right, this could be the season. What do you think? Is this the year the Gunners finally click and go all the way? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe for more Arsenal news and updates.